Hello, it's me again. I had been in a talk with a Prosper from Accra Hub in Ghana. He is the creator of the hub, and there have been several technical issues, and I really hope that it works out because we already were in the conversation. We were actually in the middle of the conversation, and yeah, let's see. I can just wait. So, yeah, I hope you all are doing well. So we already have discussed the current situation in Ghana and the impact on education and his personal life. And what we were talking about is the impact on youth. So there is Prosper. Hey.
Hi.
Okay, so I hope it's working now. Can you hear me, Prosper?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, great. So, yeah, your video is just loading. Okay, we will just continue. We were talking about the impact on the youth. Um, you were saying something. Could you just repeat the last sentence you just had said?
If I remember, right? Maybe.
Okay. Yeah, I actually also don't remember. Okay, what I asked was like, okay, I was asking you, I think something. It was about what do you think? Like, we hear a lot of people that we should use the time effectively. Oh my God, effectively.
Yeah.
So, um, and be productive and do things, learn skills, and I don't know, start something new. So you think the people who are actually not doing something like this have some pressure of performing, like young people? You think something like this is happening?
Yeah, yes, it is. It is. So a typical example is you when you take people in the workforce, for instance, like I said, most of them are back home working from home. And
Mm-hmm.
for some that their work wouldn't be so much of importance to the business anymore going forward, they have to be
Mm-hmm.
laid off. So they've been laid off. What next do they think about? You don't
Mm-hmm.
expect them to immediately become productive over the next few months where they don't have any source of income taking care of them, right? So
Yeah.
when you look at it from different angles, from people who are already working and have been laid off and then have to go back and think about what can they do to earn some revenue, you don't
Yeah.
really expect them to be really productive immediately. When you also
Mm-hmm.
take a category of youth that are in senior high school, there is no final exams for them. They are struggling to study because they are not all of them are even put online. Unlike those that are in university that have some incentive for online learning, they have some data packs, whatever, being reduced for them to some extent to learn. Those in senior high school may not have that, so they are being open to all kinds of vices, which is really on the rise. I
Mm-hmm.
read somewhere in one of the articles that someone went to steal uh, some stuff, some items because and he doesn't have it. And we are likely to see more of this happening because interventions are not really put in place to take care of low income families that
Mm-hmm.
really do not have what it takes to take care of their families, right? So
Yeah.
we shouldn't expect productivity at that maximum. Even people who are really highly effective in this period, they are thinking about their safety, them being alive more. So I mean, they wouldn't give much credence to work to that extent, unless it is something that really means a lot to them. But
Mm-hmm.
let's not fight it. Let's deal with people at the pace at which they are going, right? Let's not
Mm-hmm.
give them too much pressure to be productive. For
Yeah.
me, for instance, I'm one that I could bounce back easily from whatever
Mm-hmm.
I go through. So I could say, okay, let me weigh that off with studying something new or watching a YouTube video or
Mm-hmm.
reading a book, right? So it,
Yeah.
it worked with me easily. But someone who would have to take a longer period of time to be able to recoup, get really energized mentally and all of that, wouldn't easily
Mhm.
get it. So the youth at this point in time have a lot to handle, and I would say it's quite a challenge, not just in Ghana, but it's everywhere. But speaking for my country, in the
Mhm.
neighborhood I find myself in the nights, more of them are out there, just having a
Mhm.
chat, just trying to do some sort of things that ideally shouldn't
Mhm.
be done. So I would say that this situation has actually brought, in as much as it brought some good sides, the bad side, the downsides are really not, really not good. And I just hope that we find a better way to resolve this as soon as we can.
Okay. Prosper, your video is still on stand. Like, if you could do something.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I can't see you. It's your picture is still.
Okay, sorry. No, it's stable. I can see it. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see the picture, but it's not moving. Like it's loading.
It's not moving. It's actually moving at my end though, and I can see a screen.
Okay, it's again like at the beginning. So we will just continue. Maybe it will just fix itself.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, sure.
okay, you just mentioned some disadvantage. I mean, like COVID-19 at all overall is a disadvantage for the whole humanity, but there have been some good sides, as we already discussed, the climate, the impact on the climate
Right,
change, and
right,
the time that is now spare, where we once had
right.
no time to do something, now we have spare time. So that's, like sort of an advantage. So
Yeah,
yeah, and now you just mentioned disadvantage regarding the youth, the young people who
yeah.
have the pressure and who tend to do those bad things because they just don't know what to do. So what do you think? What measures the government or organizations such as yeah, I don't know, like NGOs or others can take to like decrease or like just to improve that situation regarding the young people?
Right. Okay, so talking about civil society organizations like CSOs, and right now
Mhm,
there's a big bang on mental health. So
mhm,
there's this group that I'm on. They decided to design a mental health clinic, sort of, and share
mhm.
it on WhatsApp. So any youth that has a WhatsApp can actually join in to engage them. And
Mhm.
we are not supposed to be crowded everywhere. So that's the disadvantage to trying to deal with this. You can
Yeah.
probably meet people one on one, but
Mhm.
unfortunately you wouldn't get that opportunity to meet a group of people. So
Yeah.
I think at that level where government decided to put out numbers, so
Mhm.
you're talking about domestic violence. So one of the UNICEF group here in Ghana decided to put out numbers that if if your husband is trying to, take things for granted and attempts to harm you, you should give up a call. So
Mhm.
women, children can actually call those numbers for intervention if there is any of that happening in their homes. So from the government side, they've actually put measures in place to at least to reduce it. But you can
Mhm.
see that not everyone will still go ahead to call or want to have that intervention done. So I would say that nonprofits at that lower level should
Yeah.
find a better way to look out for the people that will be experiencing more of this
Mhm.
to get through to them. The problem I would reinstate that is we are unable to go out and meet larger groups of people. So that is the challenge
Yeah.
right now to deal with. Yeah, that's a challenge right now to deal with.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand. I completely understand your point. So, yeah. Like, can you tell me something about like what your hub has been doing regarding the COVID-19? What kind of initiatives they have started to like tackle on that situation?
Okay, so as at March, when we went on our lockdown, Accra Hub, we
Mhm.
decided to have a meeting and discuss going forward. How do we lead going forward? How do we manage the hub going forward? And we thought the best approach would be to get online. So we after our meeting, we thought maybe going to the ground, reaching out to homes that do not have, sort of set up a fundraiser to kind of raise
Mm-hmm.
money to take care of them. But then we thought at that earlier stages, it wasn't healthy for us to really go out there. So
Mm-hmm.
we decided to do online rather than going out to give out some sort of incentive or some sort of food items to people. So we've been sensitizing people in the local language about preventive measures, what they should do, how to
Yeah.
keep safe, and all of that. So we've shared that on our social media handles and our with our friends and all of that, and that's really been really helpful. Around the
Mm-hmm.
same time, we had a one of our hub events, more like a fashion week, where we
Mm-hmm.
engage young prospects who want to venture into the fashion space to learn from experts what it takes to
Ah.
actually start a fashion business. Yeah, and it went really well. It went online very well. So our
Mm-hmm.
focus is also more on our members, how they are keeping well and staying safe, as much as our community, our media community. Since we don't have much control over what is going on, we haven't
Mm-hmm.
been able to step on ground to do anything on
Mm-hmm.
the ground. But we're hoping that as things get stabilized in the process, we'll probably rethink about going to the ground, looking out for people who really need some sort of help in terms of
Mm-hmm.
giving them some items and all of that. We can do that. But we've been very active online, doing the sensitization about it and staying at home and all of that. Yeah.
Ah. Okay. Yeah, great, great. I have overall seen some really great initiatives by the hubs all around the world. So yeah, I can see
You
that
should
at this
appear them.
point. Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So
Yeah.
yeah, overall, like the situation has brought us all like so much closer, and yeah, I can see that. So I have another question, and that was like, oh my God, I forgot the question.
I think you remember now. You should.
Okay, that's crazy. Okay, so yeah, what I wanted to know is, okay, I remember actually.
You
Actually, I
remember
was,
now. Yeah.
yeah, I remember. So what we have seen here is as soon as the COVID-19 started to spread in Pakistan, um, a huge shortage on face masks and hand sanitizers was observed. Okay, and if they were available, the prices were like double or triple of
So
the
exactly. Yeah.
original
Yeah.
price. So what I want to know, like, have you seen, has your country experienced such a shortage, and how has been dealt with the shortage?
Oh yes. I think this nose mask and sanitizer is more of a global thing that went all along everyone. We've also
Mm-hmm.
experienced it, but thankfully, one of our ministries that is more focused on industrialization, um,
Mm-hmm.
really encourage businesses, entrepreneurs that are in the fashion industry to come up with new ways that we can actually get things that we can use. So it could be used clothing that could be sold and then transform into nose masks. So
Mm-hmm.
that particular ministry decided to get on, bring all the tailors around, factory, huge manufacturing, and then produce mass nose masks. And
Mm-hmm.
people became more innovative. If you have a cloth, you just clean it up, cut it, and then sew it, and then you've put your nose mask together. So I
Mm-hmm.
think innovation also came to life because we do not have the N95 nose masks and some of the
Yeah.
surgical masks because they became really expensive. So you just have to find what you can use. Some people had
Yeah.
to use their handkerchief and then put it on. Sanitizers went
Mm-hmm.
really like extremely expensive. So we had local
Yeah.
manufacturers also getting their chemicals and putting it together. So I would say that locally, local
Mm-hmm.
businesses have been innovative to meet that demand for nose masks and then sanitizers. So right now you can actually afford it because it's not that expensive. You can buy this local design nose masks for yourself. But we always
Mm-hmm.
encourage people to wash them whenever they buy them, and also ensure that not more than 2 or 3 layers, so then you can breathe in it well, and still encouraging them to make sure they sew it to the World Health Organization standard or a standard that has been approved for everyone to adapt or use. Yeah.
Yeah, great thing. Yeah, definitely. I have seen some hubs doing some similar initiatives. They had those workshops where they taught people how to create, how to make their own face masks and make them unique, make people say, yeah, I'm making my own face mask and it looks different
Yeah,
and it's like nice. So let them enjoy the part of doing this. So yeah, that's
yeah.
definitely a great thing. So
Hmm.
yeah, talking about these things, like what kind of impact do you think the economy had in Ghana? Like obviously the economy worldwide was um, struggling and is
Yeah, so,
struggling,
yeah,
and the future
yeah,
is not predictable right now. So can you tell me
yeah.
something about the current situation regarding the economy and COVID-19?
Right. So as at 2019, Ghana's GDP growth is about 7.1%, and
Mm-hmm.
as at 2019, right, the GDP is about 7.1%. And
Mm-hmm.
as you speak right now, you would see that there is depreciation. As at yesterday, CD dollar rate to Ghana cedi has reduced 1.3%. So if you go to the
Okay.
market, you want to really convert Ghana cedi to dollars in the market, you're getting it for 5.6, and then
Uh-huh.
when you're buying it from the forexes and all of that, you're getting it for 5.9. So that growth margin is so huge, and you could see that monies are going to come, monies that are meant for other businesses are being used to
Uh-huh.
make sure that every things are stabilized. So we should expect more depreciation, and also expect more effect on our currency and on our
Uh-huh.
economy at large. I would say that agriculture sector, which is one of the largest sectors in Ghana currently, probably might see some improvement. I
Uh-huh.
mean, people want more food because globally, I mean, the food supply chain is really affected. So would we say that this is the time for unprocessed food to be processed more so that we wouldn't import them? We can really get them to homes that really need it most. This is
Uh-huh.
question. These are questions that we should answer as a country. And you know that earlier this year in March, if let me just give you that info. In March,
Uh-huh.
Ghana had opened the secretariat for the Africa Continental Trade Agreement, and was supposed to have been operational as at March, but because of
Uh-huh.
COVID, it is not really operational yet. So we are hoping that with the assistance of the secretariat here in Ghana in Accra, there would be
Uh-huh.
more impact when it comes
Uh-huh.
to trade, right? There'll be
Uh-huh.
more impact when it comes to transportation, how people can easily come into the country and do business. And there'll be
Uh-huh.
more impact on manufacturing as well. So looking
Uh-huh.
forward, those are some of the hopes that I would say we should have, but there's really huge impact in our fiscal budget, and maybe next year we would have to think about it. We are actually in a crucial year. Towards
Uh-huh.
December, we should be going to the pool. So
Okay.
whatever is happening right now should be as a guide, or should help us know what is going to happen in
Uh-huh.
December. So our economy, as it stands now, it's not stable. Yeah, the graph is really not stable at all.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think that's the case everywhere, all around the world. There are some uncertainties, and also it is not. No one is aware of how to deal with those uncertainties. So yeah, that's the big issue right now, I guess. Yeah. So moving on, I have like we have talked about like how everything is getting digitalized. So means we are working from our homes remotely, and we are having online classes, like those people who were supposed to go to
Need to be in
universities and
school. Yeah,
studies. And
yeah.
like you think like in the future, like after COVID-19 is gone, if we can say it so, like when everything is back to normal,
Mhm.
these things will be kept, like that the like being more on those digital platforms is preferred
Mhm.
than actually going to those workplaces, to offices, to universities, institutes. What's your perception about this?
Uh, my perception is it's actually a great thing that we see. And what do we get? What are the positives? Even if we should go online,
Mm-hmm,
I mean, is everyone going to go online? What
mm-hmm,
are some of the things that we have to trade off to get everyone online?
mm-hmm,
Um, for me personally, I would say that technology has really improved lives in many ways, making
Yeah,
work
definitely.
really, really easier. So
Mm-hmm.
I would always advocate for technology advancement, but with much focus on people at the grassroots level.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they are unable to get on to the technological tools that are being, put
Mm-hmm.
together, they are not even considered, and then they just put all things together and dump it to them. It doesn't make
Mm-hmm.
any impact. So if you're looking at the labor market, you're looking at people who are in the working class. It would just be a trajectory helping them to go a bit higher in their career path and all of that. But when you're
Yeah.
looking at people who are at the grassroots level who needs to find their feet when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
education, how can they really afford to buy data, or can they really afford to buy a laptop or get any of those? We
Mm-hmm.
don't. So the gradual process still needs to go unless we have another sector that is really, really working in that area very well to bridge the gap. If not,
Mm-hmm.
the- all this advancement with fourth industrial revolution, which is really brilliant and helping, and it's really not considering people at the lower level. I think it, it's not any change. I bet you, because right now
Mm-hmm.
anyone can connect, but not everyone can afford data to even be online. Not everyone could even afford
Yeah,
an Android
definitely.
phone to actually be online. So we should always think about it from that angle going forward. Yeah, I just hope that a lot of things wouldn't just be about going for a meeting, but we can do meetings online. Like you just don't have to go for physical meetings often
Yeah.
if you get out of this situation, but you can do stuff online. You don't have to. Some things that needs to be sent by mail, you don't have to go and meet your boss over it somewhere and all of that. Like, yeah,
No.
some of those improvements in those areas. But I'm always keen at it, of people at the grassroots level because we should take care of them. We should really take care of them. Yeah.
Exactly. But you agree with the matter of fact that there will be some major changes within how work is done and how education is acquired, right? Or what exactly is your point?
Yes, that's my point. Like, as it stands right now, people are
Mm-hmm.
just taking a lot of courses. Like, you can sign up
Mm-hmm.
for any of this
Yeah.
online courses with universities just to get some knowledge about a skill you've always been wanting to. And they're making a lot of money now because
Mm-hmm.
at first people were feeling reluctant to get online to learn because they're working. And now, for
Mm-hmm.
about a month or two, you get access to the internet.
Mm-hmm.
You can just sign up for any class and learn. So I would say that many people would just love this new approach going forward than
Mm-hmm.
going for the traditional education. But then some
Mm-hmm.
people will still love the traditional education because of the connection, the human connection that you get. Because some
Mm-hmm.
people really cherish that a lot. But apart from that, I would say that is a great improvement in our educational sector because you don't
Mm-hmm.
get to have a lot of people crowded, going traveling miles away for school, and whatever they would use for that could be invested into something else. But then again, people prioritize personal connection over just an online thing for some extent, to some extent. So I would say education will
Mm-hmm.
be improved. Um, all these platforms would also be improved. All
Mm-hmm.
these payment platforms are also picking up because in the past, these payment platforms do not get a lot of subscribers to purchase or make use
Mm-hmm.
of their apps. But now you can sign up to an app, you place your order, you pay through the app, and then they deliver to you. So they are having more subscribers joining in. So we could see that
Yeah.
there is an improvement from both sides. At first, Zoom many years ago was not meant for everyone. It was just meant for executives, just a few couple of like
Yeah.
that's set. But now everyone can access it, and you can see the growth in
Mm-hmm.
its investment, its return on investment asset now. So I would
Mm-hmm.
say largely there will be improvement in education. People will now be drawn towards pursuing education online, like want to do online learning, like distance learning, sort of. When you talk about agriculture sector, yes, people are building tools that will match up with their customers at that level. So you can see that there is an improvement in between when it comes to technology usage in those sectors.
Yeah. Great. Yeah, talking about like economy again, I have a question. Like we see a lot of governments have provided their population of the country with stimulus packages. Like, is there something similar in Ghana happening?
Yes. Could you take your question again? Let me just quickly put my thoughts together on that.
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I
Can
can
you
hear you.
repeat?
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you. So I said, kindly repeat that question again.
Yeah, I was asking like, are there like stimulus packages in Ghana? Like we're seeing governments all around the world providing stimulus packages. So is there something, some similar system in Ghana happening for those people who can't actually afford right now?
Well, if you're talking about some sectors, yes, I would say some sectors are really benefiting from that, but not every sector is really getting on that. I would quickly link it to a question that I see here, that how can we equip more grassroots level youth to lead digitization of services for their communities?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I see this as a way of trying to feed into the bigger picture, because government has a budget they are working with, right? And they work
Yeah,
through ministries, they work through
yeah,
municipalities, and it gets to the grassroots level. So if that
exactly.
sharing is not done proportionally, you will see that work wouldn't go on as planned. So at the grassroots
Mm-hmm.
level, taking a community like my community, for instance, where
Mm-hmm.
the assembly member is there, where we
Mm-hmm.
have the member of parliament in there. When the assembly member hears from the community folks that, oh, students are not going to school, they are
Mm-hmm.
not really learning, how do we provide them with some learning materials? So
Mm-hmm.
speaks to the member of parliament, then the member of parliament decides to engage a multinational company who deals in computers, that, okay, how about we provide computers for these students in my community? They won't go out, but we'll provide it for them in their homes to learn. Isn't that a
Mm-hmm.
good way of bridging the gap? Right. So at that level, you will see that a higher role is being played by the member of parliament. But people who probably wouldn't get access to them easily and they are in the
Mm-hmm.
community, how can they be equipped, right, to learn more about digitization and all of
Yeah.
that? I would say that if members from the communities who have experienced this can go back, right, or create an online learning tool platform where any member of their community or wherever they find themselves in can subscribe to learn, that would be a
Mm-hmm.
big way of giving back to them, right? But
Yeah.
if we don't think about it
True.
from that angle, it will be very difficult for us to close the gap. If we think about it from the community level, where you are within a community where you see there is a need, you will do that. So, a typical example, I would say, on my page, one of the page that I belong to, my junior high school page, like many
Yeah.
years ago, we've been having just a normal casual conversation, and this
Yeah.
popped up in my mind. Most of them were saying they are not getting job, and from where I come from, rural community, and we've all dispersed after high school. We all went our ways, but now there
Mm-hmm.
is a problem of unemployment, which, I mean, everyone is really affected with. But I
Mm-hmm.
decided to step in. That, hey, this is a form I've created. Why don't you fill in with your data? Let me know what you would want to do, what skills do you have now, and how do I maybe look out for opportunities that match your skill, right? So that is a
Yeah.
way of starting off. So if individuals identify a way to really close the gap at the grassroots level, people should be willing to risk it. They should be willing to learn. They should be willing to go extra harder. That way
Mm-hmm.
we can close the gap. But if we don't take those actions, we are not going
Mm-hmm.
to go anywhere. Like at the community level, individually, we need to step in and then
Mm-hmm.
take action. That way, we can see things happening at the community level. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great, great initiative by you to actually do that, because I can't imagine how much effort and time it takes. So
yeah,
yeah, great thing. So did it work out actually? Could you find for them some work that suits them?
yeah. Right. So right now, the form is done. I think if I heard you right, I've actually completed the form, and
Mm-hmm.
more of them trying to match. So I get people share job opportunities somewhere, and then I pick it up, and then I send
Mm-hmm.
it to them via email. That's the means of communication, because I want it to be more professional.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when I
Yeah.
feel like I can easily send emails, I drop it on the platform, then signal the one that I feel or really, I mean, expresses their skills that are getting in. Another thing I've also noticed is not all of them have put their CVs together, right? So going forward, like maybe in the coming weeks, I would ask of their CV and see how I could work on it with a few people, and then maybe that could be a way of helping close the gap, right? In a way that will better serve everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a great thing, a great idea actually, Prosper.
I hope
That's
I get a
amazing.
question right.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, so overall, like apart from employment and education and the economy, and the impact on the youth, another topic that was like what we really wanted to discuss and what we in some portions already have discussed is the future, the post-COVID-19 situation. So tell me, what is your perception on how the world will look like after COVID-19 is gone? You think it's going to be everything is going to get back to normal, or what do you think? How do you imagine the post-COVID-19 world?
Hmm. Well, that's it's like, so let me just share this with you briefly. I think when we all went down to lockdown on my
Mm-hmm,
street in my neighborhood, not you wouldn't see a single soul walking around, right?
mm-hmm,
And I felt this new normal was a good way to help us curb some of the many challenges that we face, right? So you
mm-hmm,
talk about environment, you talk about how our environment is being kept. People just throw stuff around anyhow. And
mm-hmm,
a school of thought is, why don't we use this opportunity to clean our gutters, to get our streets clean, to get things sorted out? It was really nice from the pictures that were taken when we went down to lockdown the first time. I was extremely happy. But then
mm-hmm,
again, we have to come out, and because of economic reasons, people need to go work and then make sure they get some things to take care of their homes. Then we are back to normal. So within this space, it's like people just don't know that we are in an era that we have to have a change of mindset. We are
mm-hmm,
still doing the normal things to some extent. So I think it's about the sensitization that needs to drive harder. That
mm-hmm,
individuals need to understand that it could this thing that we see is quite deadly. We don't see the effect on us because it's not happening to us directly yet. But
mm-hmm,
going forward in a few years to come, I'm just hoping that we will internalize the challenges that we've gone through during COVID-19
mm-hmm.
and take action when it comes to
Yeah.
environment. What should we do to keep it safe? When it comes to
Mm-hmm,
health care, how do we take care of our health? A lot of people are jogging, going for jogging, running this days, and I felt, oh, really, this is really good. But do we go
mm-hmm,
back to a normal life? Hopefully, when we find a vaccine, maybe in 18 months, should we still be doing the same? Will we be able to go for jogging as we've really instituted now? I think it's
mm-hmm,
individual self introspection that we need to really put in place.
mm-hmm,
Mindset is something that I think we should all drive. I mean, I
mm-hmm.
was so shocked when I heard a lot of people are just passing away from across the continent, even in the state alone, in Italy alone, like the numbers are just going way high, like so much. But I'm
Yeah.
hopeful that by the time we all get back, like when we get back to normal, there should be some mindset shifting of mindset about the way we do things. That way I'll see that we haven't taken this era for granted. We've actually made the best out of this era. So I'm just
Yeah.
praying and hoping that if we should get a vaccine in the next 18 months or even more,
Hopefully.
we should be able to still, I mean, keep a distance. We should be able to make some of the things that we've really picked up right now. We should be able to make use of them whilst we find ourselves in a new era. That's what I'm hoping
Mm-hmm,
for. And I think in my country, the health facilities have been really, I mean, abandoned. Some of them have been abandoned for a longer time. And
mm-hmm.
I'm hoping that they should be put in place because health care is very important.
Yeah,
This
definitely it's
situation has
essential.
brought to light some of the challenges that needed to be addressed immediately
Mm-hmm,
that were taken for granted. So I'm hoping that by the time we will be back, I mean, those things will be put in place before we should be going forward. That's my hope. I just hope that mindset shift would be something that everyone would take very seriously. And then when you come to the working environment, employees would also be able to adapt to the new changes and know the
Mm.
kind of people they are working with when they're hiring, the kind of people they bring on board, and how to deal with them at that level. So I just hope that we will all take this note and then make something good out of it.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I also am already seeing some messages or on social media when you scroll through that there
Yeah.
are some countries, amongst others Italy, who are saying that the governments are actually stating that they want to increase the use of bicycles and like abandon in some areas the use of cars. So, so that the climate can still be regulated after COVID-19. So yeah, there are definitely some countries, some governments, some people who are taking this seriously, and it shows actually that those people have learned from the current situation. We see the before and after pictures. So yeah, as you said, the change of mindset is really, really necessary at this particular point. So yeah. Is there something else, Prosper, you would like to share? Any opinion, any advice to the people, or a message, Prosper? Uh, okay, I think he's. I just wait for him. Okay, I think he will be rejoining us soon. So the people who have joined us or will be listening to this live stream later on can see that there are several impacts, not just like one country as Ghana or Pakistan are struggling with, but every country all around the world. But still, even though there are disadvantages with COVID-19, we can see some advantages as we have the time, we have the spare time, we can use it productively, effectively. But it doesn't mean you have to pressure yourself to necessarily do something. All right. Um, yeah, and apart from that, like the post-COVID-19 situation, it's undeterminable, it's not predictable. So someone who is watching us right now, who's watching me, who's listening to me, you have any idea of what do you think like the post-COVID-19 world will look like? So please share in the comments. I really would like to know about your opinion. And meanwhile, we will be waiting for Prosper to rejoin me. There he is, Prosper. Okay, I just got him. Kann nicht übertragen werden. Alright, let me get this. I think Prosper is being some issues on your side. I'm trying to connect with you.
Well,
So,
hi, Sadat.
hi. So,
The network keeps breaking.
hello? Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
hi,
there's
Sadat.
some.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I can hear you, Sadat.
Okay, all right. So, is it clear now? Okay, there is a message. Yeah, you are right. It will definitely leave a
Okay.
great impact on everyone's life, not only in one country. Yeah, definitely there are gonna be major changes. And yeah, we can't predict anything, so we just have to wait and watch.
No, it's not. Yeah. Would you want to?
Prosper? network issues. So yeah, Candy Clicks hopes we will not suffer so long as we are doing now. Yeah, what kind of suffer? For what particular reason are you suffering? Like, could you share this with us so we can maybe talk about it? I can talk about it with Prosper, and you could share some opinion about that. Also, I'll simultaneously look for Prosper. Okay, he's gone right now. Yeah, I think he is having some network issues. That's the reason why maybe his video wasn't working though. So yeah, I hope you people are doing all fine, and yeah. So I'll be waiting for Prosper to rejoin. I think we are actually at the end of our conversation, but I really would like to end the conversation with Prosper together. And yeah, it was definitely a great conversation. We had a lot of information to share. He told us a lot about the whole situation in Ghana and overall his perceptions, which were pretty accurate. So yeah. All right. I'm just waiting for him. Let me check if there is a comment that I haven't seen. So, okay, I'm a teacher. We start online lectures, but there are definitely some deficiencies as it's not equal to a proper classroom like face-to-face study. Yeah, definitely. I also am seeing those videos on social medias where like students are actually just pranking their teachers. And okay, let me get Prosper on, and then we can talk about that particular issue, because it definitely is an impact on the education and the future aspects of education, because we don't know how far COVID-19 is going to take it. So yeah, we can definitely talk about it. Let me get Prosper on board. Okay, there's still some issue, I guess. Grade one student. Difficult to grade one student. Ah, okay, all right. And how is it are actually, because I see students are not properly attentive, like, is that really a thing, or is it just because, um, okay, there's Prosper. Okay, Prosper is not there. So, Candy Click, would you prefer it actually? So, if this keeps going, as we already mentioned, there is no predictable future of this. Um, like how you think it's gonna be if you are not able to properly grade one student. So could you share your insights with us? Meanwhile, we will wait for Prosper to rejoin. We are so far from modern technology that students got problems. Okay, so what kind of problems students have to face, and how you mean that you are so far from modern technology, and how is this integrated in your system at your place? You can share your insight, definitely. Mm. Okay, I'm still waiting for him to rejoin so we can actually end the conversation together as we started it together. Nee, du musst das jetzt nicht machen, ne? Das auch später machen. All right. During lectures, internet got down, even grade one students not able to reconnect it. Ah, all right. Okay, I understand. So there are some technical issues arising while providing them for lectures. Yeah, I can definitely understand this particular issue. We also have some cities here or some areas where underprivileged people can't actually afford it, and hi, and there are some issues arising. There are people who can't afford it because of the internet bundles, like already Prosper addressed this issue, or other technical issues, because there are some families for them it's not usual to have a computer or a laptop at their homes. So yeah, exactly the point what I'm trying to refer to is that the issue of having a medium to connect through the applications with the teacher or with the overall class. So yeah, there are some issues that can't be sorted out at that fast pace. So yeah, definitely, but has to be, because in long run, it's not going to be very helpful for those students who are suffering right now. So that's the view that we have of students. We see a lot of students like having their concerns about their graduations and all that stuff. So you, as from the point of view of a teacher, like what's your concern apart from like not being able to grade or the tech issues that are arising? So what you personally get impacted by as a teacher? So yeah, we can discuss this till Prosper joins us. So I'm still waiting for Prosper to rejoin us. Um, so yeah, those watching right now, like we already had the issue with Candy Clicks told us about the issues arising as a teacher. So first you must deliver selective basic concepts now rather than full syllabus. Yeah, okay, I can understand it. Like it might also be pretty difficult to communicate the topics, the subject overall to the students. You know, when you are like physically present at some place, you can elaborate better. I feel like instead of like just being communicating via the through the internet, through those applications, and not being able to explain properly or being attentive to some particular things, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, I can completely understand. So I'm still waiting for Prosper so we can end it because it was a nice conversation. He gave us some great insights of Ghana, of he told us about the impact he personally was having due to the COVID-19 situation, the impact on the economy, education, and yeah, the impact on the youth and what measures could be taken to actually stabilize the young people in this crisis. So apart from that, we talk about how the world might look like after COVID-19 is gone. Is it gonna be a normal life or is it not? Like, yeah. So these were the topics. And I really am looking forward to Prosper right now so that he can join us and we can finish this conversation. So yeah, it would be great to have him on right now. All right, I guess. Okay, yeah, I guess I'm gonna end this conversation right now. Um, because I feel like there are some network issues that Prosper is struggling with right now. So yeah, it was definitely a great conversation. Thanks to Prosper to giving us the time and participating in this live stream. The first part was unfortunately not required because of some technical issues that we're suffering today. And yeah, we definitely had some great conclusions regarding some topics. And I definitely am looking forward to this series overall, Hub Talks, to be continued and to talk to more people, to shapers from around the world, to other individuals from various fields, to share their point of views and talk about yeah, what their perceptions are regarding the world after COVID-19. So yeah, tomorrow I will be live at 9 p.m. at Pakistani time again with oh, there is he. How we hope we can have another. Yeah, definitely. I hope we can have another talk soon. And I was really like trying to get you on board right now. You can try it again to get live with me so we can end it together maybe because we had a great conversation, I feel like. So yeah, I was telling you people tomorrow I'm gonna have another live session with Nishat from Doha Hub. He is the curator at Doha Hub at 9 p.m. Pakistani time. We will be having the conversation on the current situation of COVID-19 and future aspects. So yeah, stay tuned. This series will be happening every Saturday and Sunday at 9 p.m. So just stay tuned and watch and get to know what's happening all around the world. So thank you very much for joining me today. Also, thanks to Prosper to giving me the time and join. And yeah, definitely looking forward to tomorrow's conversation with Nishad. Okay, stay blessed. Bye.